I call this the May 26, 2026 meeting of the Lincoln County Board of Commissioners to order. Our invocation tonight will be given by Pastor Daniel Smith. Daniel's the West End Baptist Church pastor. And our Pledge of Allegiance will be given by Landon Smith, 16-year-old son of Daniel and Leslie Smith. Daniel's homeschool student. He takes some of his classes with the Chestnut Ridge Academy. He plays football and soccer at Riverside Christian Academy and is looking forward to playing baseball with Riverside's new program. Please stand for the invocation. Remain standing for our pledge.
All right, let's pray together. God, we just thank you so much for the opportunity to gather together tonight. We thank you for this community and for all the people that call it home. And Lord, we just ask that you would be with our mayor and the council members, all the city employees, the first responders, teachers, all of those in our community who care for others. Lord, we pray for them tonight. We ask that you would give everyone here wisdom to make good decisions. Lord, help them have humility to listen well and just courage to do what's right and unity when there are differences of opinions. Lord, we pray for them. Help this meeting to be marked by respect and honesty and, Lord, just a genuine desire to serve the people in this community. Remind us that every decision affects real families and real businesses and real lives. Lord, we pray for peace and blessing over our city. We pray for the homes that represent this city, that you would strengthen them, protect our children, encourage those who are struggling, help those neighbors, and help us to care for them well. And may we never take for granted the freedoms and opportunities that we have. Lord, help us to be wise and help us to be faithful to what matters. We ask all this in the Lord Jesus Christ's name. We pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Landon, and thank you, Daniel. Madam Clerk, if you will, call the roll.
Brandon Coley. David Sanders. Danny Walker. John Creason. Bonnie Caldwell. Terry Rogers. Jack Atchley. Kate Hewen. Mark Mitchell. Charles Hunter. Marianne Tackett. Steve Spray. Daniel Eldridge. Jason Nix. Anthony Taylor. Doug Cunningham. Pat Haynes. Tori Young. Ricky Bryant. Glenn Douglas. Steve Guntherberg. Troy Frazran.
Present.
Jason Hambrick. Jeannie Rose Walter. Present. 23 present, 1 absent.
Okay. Announcements. Commissioner Tackett, you said you had an announcement.
I just want to tell everybody that John Rose, who's running for governor of the great state of Tennessee, is going to be at the museum in the morning at 9 a.m. So if you're interested in hearing what John Rose has got to say, he's a great guy, he's a farmer, he believes in the community, and I tell you, he's just a great guy. And so come down to the museum at 9 o'clock in the morning and hear what he's got to say.
Thank you. Our next item on there, Mr. Eddie Hall, Camp Blunt Open House.
Thank you. Mayor Newman, the one bit of advice that I got for the last hour is to be quick. It's hard, I can't even get my name out in 5 minutes. On October the 7th, 1780, John Greer and 2 other commanders led about 900 frontiersmen over the Appalachians down through North Carolina to Kings Mountain on the border of South Carolina. They eased up the mountain, took the British 1,200 men. Their commander, Major Ferguson, he was killed. 200 British killed, 200 wounded, 700 captive. After the victorious battle, John Sevier appointed and volunteered a young man, 20-year-old frontiersman named Joseph Greer. Joseph Greer was about 6'8", so it'd be like Big Ed Carter walking through that door over there. Only he's 20 years old. He sends Joseph Greer north. They've got to let the Continental Congress know that they defeated the British in the South and stopped the advance for him joining up with Cornwallis. It took Joseph Greer almost 4 weeks on horseback and on foot to travel to Philadelphia. He was a frontiersman, he knew his way. He survived the ordeal, burst through the double doors of the Continental Congress, and proclaimed that we had stopped the British. For his heroic activities and his patriotism, the Congress eventually granted him a sizable land grant in Lincoln County, Tennessee. He built his first home there around 1808 on the Gill Farm, what is now the Gill Farm. The Gill family graciously donated that cabin to Camp Blunt. Over many years, almost 10, we have reconstructed the cabin. It'll be open for the public Saturday, June 27th from 9 to 8. One follow-up point. I just visited the State Museum, and their curator, John White, gave me a brief tour of the Tennessee's participation in the Revolutionary War. Ferguson, the British commander's sash, is on display. The rifle that supposedly shot Ferguson is on display. This is the second floor of the State Museum. But when you go around the corner, there's half a wall dedicated to Joseph Greer. Half a wall. And next to that display is a huge plaque showing the cabin in Fayetteville, Tennessee. So I hope you'll all be there. Thank you.
Eddie, say the date and time again. Saturday, June 27th.
27th, lead up to the 4th. So it's Saturday, June 27th, from 9 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon.
3.
With reenactors.
Okay. 9 to 3. Thank you. And if you hadn't been out there, they've done a wonderful job on the reconstruction of that cabin, and been a lot of people involved. Thank you for your involvement. I know there were a lot of other people, but we appreciate you. And that kind of kicks off our 250th celebration of America's 250th anniversary that week from the 27th through the 4th of July. So thank you for what y'all are doing.
Thank you.
No one registered for public comments. One of the things that they brought up when we were at the meeting in Gatlinburg, now it does not have to be something on the agenda as long as it relates to business of the county that the commission could be bringing forth at any time, basically. We do have a limit on the time. We're still going to remain 3 minutes and a total of 15 minutes, and try, if there's two sides to a discussion, equally divide those. So that was something that was brought up, and that is a new law that's effective. The approval of the minutes, I would entertain a motion for that April 21st meeting of the commission for approval. Commissioner Frazran makes a motion. Commissioner Nix seconds. Any corrections, questions? Commissioner Rose-Walter.
I did notice that there were 2 areas that need to be corrected. Under the section where, towards the end where it talked about roads, it was left out that Commissioner Cunningham made the motion to dispense with the reading of the resolution, which was seconded by Commissioner Haynes. It only listed the amendment information. And then
Okay. Wait just a second. Let's make sure did you catch what she was? Do you need a copy of the? I got it somewhere. I always can find it because it's longer than the rest of them. Here we go.
When he was talking about the closure of that road, it did not list Commissioner Cunningham as making the motion to dispense with the reading of the resolution or show that it was seconded by Commissioner Haynes. And then, do you want to write that?
And that was motion by Cunningham.
And seconded by Haynes.
All right.
And then under the discussion about the pilot motion, Commissioner Bryant made a motion to move for the previous question. It did not receive a proper second.
Okay, do you,
That was it.
On that second paragraph under new business,
I don't have it pulled up in front of me. These are the notes that I made in my notebook. It was under new business at the end, yes.
and you said there was not a second?
There was not a second, no.
I went back and,
Mr. Chairman, if you please, someone had to make a point of order at that time. So if a point of order was not made, it was waived.
okay?
Would that negate the fact that it needed to be included in the minutes? This is a correction of the minutes. Was that the point that you were making, Mr. Sims, that it did not need to be?
Proper second.
I'm sorry.
The minutes say that there was a second.
For when Commissioner, right, there was a second, but it did not list when Commissioner Bryant made a motion to move for the previous question, which would have ended debate.
Again, I believe the chair someone should have asked for a point of order, and the chair should have ruled at that time. So if they didn't do that, it's waived.
So you're saying it should not be included in the minutes then?
Waived.
Okay. Everybody understand? Okay, we've got one correction on there that's been noted, okay. This last one, the attorney has ruled that it would be waived because it was not a point of order during that meeting. Does everybody understand?
Thank you.
Okay. We have a motion for approval properly seconded. Any other discussion or questions? All in favor of approval, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Let's see, you should have gotten 12 monthly committee meeting minutes and 6 quarterly in your packet. The next item is consideration for approval to elect Garrett Honey as the county attorney. That term would expire May of 2026. It says 28 on here too. Why did I read it wrong? Excuse me. Does anybody want, Jason Nix was the chairman of that commission. Does anybody want to report the procedure on that or anything? Or y'all ready to make a motion that we elect Garrett Honey as our new county attorney? Seeing no objection, I would entertain a motion. Commissioner Douglas makes the motion. Commissioner Young seconds that. Any discussion? All in favor of the approval, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Garrett, why don't you give us some comments? Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I certainly appreciate it. I appreciate y'all's vote of confidence tonight. I appreciate the committee, the selection committee. More than anything, I just want to say that I'm very excited about this position. I'm excited about working with you all going forward for the next 2 years. I know that the county is going to be having some big changes coming up with the next election. I look forward to working through those together. For those of you all who may not know me, I've been in private practice here in Lincoln County for almost 10 years. I started my legal career 20 years ago this year when I first started working for retired District Attorney General Jim Kidd. So I've been in this area. I'm a native Lincoln County, and I've been in the legal aspects here in Lincoln County for a long time, and I do look forward to this position. Attorney Ed Sims has carried this torch for a long time, and I look forward to taking that torch for him and giving him some well-deserved rest, and I look forward to carrying that torch proudly and serving you all and Lincoln County to the best of my abilities. If y'all ever have anything that I can do to help you all, please feel free to reach out. But again, thank you all very much. I certainly appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Thank you. I'd be remiss if we didn't acknowledge Ed Sims, his family. His father was our county attorney. His grandfather was county attorney. And Ed, we appreciate all your service. And at this time, I want to say thank you.
I have a moment.
Sure.
Just want to thank y'all for 12 two-year terms, 24 years. It just seems like only yesterday that my dad had resigned and I took his place back in 2002. Of course, he's passed now. But anyway, I've really enjoyed working with the county. I enjoyed all the friends that I made on the county commission. I've seen a lot of people come and go. I've seen 3 different mayors come and soon go. But again, I want to thank you very much. You've all been very cordial to me, and I appreciate it. My grandfather became he was the county judge, and at the time, that was like the county mayor. And he became county judge in 1926. You know, here we are in 2026. So 100 years ago, that's when he started doing it. He was the Depression. He worked through the Depression. He worked through World War II. Worked through the Korean conflict. I remember my family talking about how my grandfather, who made $2,000 a month during the Depression, he hated to take his paycheck because so many people were doing so poorly at that time. He finally worked through. My dad became county attorney for about, I believe around 32, 33 years, till he got to where it was time for him to retire, and I took it up and had to learn a whole lot. And I hope Garrett likes to learn, because we all have a lot to learn. I'll be helping Garrett any way I can. I'll share whatever I've got with him, and I'm glad to help him. I want to see him succeed. But please keep in mind there's a learning curve to this, and also that he doesn't know everything about everything, okay? He knows a little about a lot, but not everything about everything. There are areas of the law that he'll have no expertise whatsoever, just like me. Certain areas that I just didn't have any expertise in, didn't have any confidence that I could learn it. And so we had to get some other folks to help us out. And we still have to do that, and you'll still have to do that. So please keep that in mind. But again, thanks very much. Enjoyed the position. Look forward to seeing all of y'all on the street. I'm still practicing law. So anybody who wants to come to me for some private practice, I'll be glad to help you out. I promise you your charges will be reasonable. Thanks.
Thank you, Ed. Not only has he represented us as attorney, Ed, being the gentleman that you are, reflects Lincoln County very well, and I know it will for Garrett too. So we thank you and look forward, Garrett, to your service also. Thank you. Next item, consideration for approval of the 2026 county road list. Commissioner Frazran makes a motion. Commissioner Bryant makes a motion that it be approved. Any questions? Did you look up and make sure the road you live on is still on there? Any questions, comments? All in favor of approval, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Next item. Consideration for approval to reappoint Mark Bolden to the Lincoln County Board of Public Utilities. That term expires June of 2029. What's the will of the commission on this one? Commissioner Rose-Walter makes a motion for approval. Do I have a second? Commissioner Rogers makes a second. Any questions on that one? All in favor of the approval of Mark Bolden to be reappointed on that committee, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. The next item is consideration for approval of resolution to authorize a grant application for the THDA home grant for $750,000. The ones that's been on the commission a few years, remember we did a $500,000 one a few years ago, and you're not eligible in the next year. So I want to give the next mayor something to do. So I'd like to make it approval that I can apply for that for the county. Commissioner Haynes makes a motion. Commissioner Bryant seconds. Any questions on this? It's what it has to be a senior citizen. They have to own their home. It's inspected by a state inspector to see that the repairs need to be done are applicable to redoing it on that house. There have been some in the past where the house was torn down because it was in such repair. So last time we did not tear down any, but they were all repaired. I think we repaired about 10 houses on that. So senior citizens that own their house, they have to apply and economically not in the higher range. They have to be in the lower range of economic to qualify for this. So it does a lot of good, but it is a lot of work, and I want to give Dora Barnes a lot of credit. When we was going through it, she was doing most of the hands-on work on that to get it done. But have we got a vote yet?
We have a motion
Motion and a second. All in favor of approval, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. The next one, EMA Director Doug Campbell. Consideration for approval of a lease agreement between the state of Tennessee and Lincoln County to install a tower at the 80 Red Oak Road in Petersburg, which is better known as Boone's Hill. It'd be appreciated. And you're probably going to do it anyway, but give them background all the way from what's happened on the property to where we are now on that, please.
I can't do that in 5 minutes.
I bet you can.
So we started a process about 3 years ago with Ms. Tackett trying to get the land from the Boone's Hill Community Center back into the county name. And we have finally, with Mr. Sims' patience and Ms. Mary's patience, I think that's happened. In the process of this happening, there is a communications network that's being put in across the state of Tennessee called TACN, Tennessee Area Communications Network. And they approached us about 4 months ago, I guess, Mayor, about that was a possible site for the state to build a tower on. Now, there's no infrastructure in our county right now for this communications network here, and it's rather expensive if we had to build it out ourselves. And so this is a big step. THP has owned this area network, so it'll be a big help to THP immediately when the state gets this up and built. But what they did is they approached us and said, we would like to lease 100 by 100 square foot, put a 180-foot tower up on this property for 40 years, I believe was the lease. Mr. Ed, was that right on there?
It is. That's the length of the lease.
The length of the lease, and it's no cost to us. There's no monetary value to us. It'll be a benefit communications-wise at some point down the road to us, should we ever move to this area-wide communications network. A lot of the counties around us are already moving to it. Bedford County's moving to it. Giles County's moving to it. Winchester's partially on it. Marshall County is a little bit like us. We have no infrastructure built into it right now. So they're looking at some other sites within the county. They're talking to 911, and that's what they've asked us to do, is to sign this lease to allow them to go ahead and put this tower up there. The lease that's in front of you is a little bit vague in nature. Attorney Sims read over it. It's a general lease agreement. The only thing they've added in there right now is the length of the lease. And then once we sign it, we'll fill in the date to start and the date to end. But we need your approval to continue this process and enter into this lease.
Any questions?
No, sir. This is a radio communications network for emergency services. It gives us interoperability regardless of who's responding out there. Everybody, all the ABCs in the state are going to this TACN network with emergency services.
Commissioner Young, do you have a question?
The waves that come off this tower, is it going to affect the people in that community? Is it going to be like radioactive waves? What is it?
It's just regular radio communication waves. Yeah.
Commissioner Douglas, do you have a question? Oh, I got a motion. Do I have a second? Commissioner Hunter, I saw first. Any questions or other discussions? Commissioner Bryant?
Just one. 180 feet, will that get line of sight up enough where it can see Fayetteville from that? Because that's a hole down there.
It is a hole.
That's what I was wondering, is 180 feet going to get us line of sight?
Their people are the ones from the state who chose that and said that's what they needed to build there.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
Yes, sir.
Anything else? All in favor of approval of the lease, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Thank you, Doug. Okay, next item. Lincoln County Planner, Miss Tracy Perkins.
Thank you. This is for file number ZR 2026-3. This is a zoning resolution addition of, so it's basically we have home occupations in our zoning already. They are wholly within the residence as they are right now. And this would add that they can do the home occupation in an accessory structure on the property rather than just the home. There are a lot of stipulations to it. There are a lot of standards to it. Minimum 5 acres. There's a maximum on employees. Only family members that reside on that property can work there other than the 3 employees that you have. You can only use 1 building. There is has to be less than 5,000 square feet. The setbacks are pretty generous too. 75 feet from adjacent residential and agricultural lots, and 150 feet from the residence and adjacent residence. The outdoor storage is supposed to be basically shielded or screened from view, and it can only be half the size of the building. See, I'm trying to think of normal business hours, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday is what we're asking for. All parking, unloading, loading should be on that site, not on the road. There's some sign requirements there. You can't have it over 20 square feet. And then setbacks for that, you gotta be 8 feet back from the right of way. And then it also covers there are only 8 occupations that it really covers. And you'll see those listed there under number 11, if you have any questions on that.
Okay.
Anybody have any questions for me?
There were no comments during the public hearing?
Right, no
right?
comments other than commissioners asking questions.
Okay. Okay. I would entertain a motion for approval. Okay, Commissioner Sanders makes a motion. Do I have a second? Commissioner Walker seconds it. Commissioner Bryant's recognized.
One question, what about businesses that exist? Will they be grandfathered into this?
No, sir,
No.
there's been no talk of that. Nobody brought it up. I mean, I think it's something that we should explore as planning commission. I've thought that for a while, but
I
Nobody
started to
else
bring it
brought
up
it up.
earlier, and I thought, well, it's not the proper time. But, I mean, I don't see how we cannot.
If they're
grandfather those in.
operating now, they may have been grandfathered in before we had planning and zoning.
True.
But they won't be grandfathered in. They'll have to apply under these new laws
Yeah.
or new
So the
zoning
ones that are
rules.
already there just exist as they are, but anything new would have to do this.
So, a yes vote tonight, without knowing the answer to that question for sure, is going, I mean, they're gonna have to apply, basically.
The ones in existence should not have to reapply because they're already there. They already have a business license, they've already been approved, but the new ones are gonna have to meet this. Anybody that applies for anything new.
So then they're grandfathered in, right?
The ones that already exist, but they're grandfathered now. I mean, they're already there.
Commissioner Hunter?
I would add to what Tracy's saying, is if they're operating legally, they would be grandfathered.
That's right.
If they're not legal.
Yes.
If they don't have a business license and haven't been through the proper procedures, they're not considered a legal.
That's right.
This is true.
We're not gonna get into a situation, the reason I asked, we're not gonna get into a situation where, okay, you said 150 feet a while ago from a residence. If it's already there and they're grandfathered in and they're 50 feet from a residence, they're grandfathered in, so they're good. So I mean,
If they're operating legally, like Charles said.
I think we're on a slippery slope. Do we get a definition there?
Commissioner Young?
I'm concerned about the amount of businesses that are listed here. I'm sure there are a lot more. What is the process here if we needed to add more? I just feel like we're not ready yet.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot that probably could be considered for this, and they just weren't added to this list, so it would take, honestly, another zoning resolution amendment. I mean, to add anything else, and that's going back through this process again. And it's a time-consuming process.
And
We've
one of
been
the
working on this for
questions
months.
that Commissioner Frazran asked, I think, in the public hearing was that what was the question you asked something, I thought it was a good question on, yeah, but there was something about,
I can't remember what you asked either.
it was what? No, because they just have to jump through the regular hoops on there. But anyway, yeah, they asked that, and that list is on there. So, but anyway, it's one of these. A lot of times, you know, this thing has gone back and forth. One of them, I believe the rules that they got are good rules on it. You know, it's got to be. Oh, I know what it was. What about a subdivision that has restrictions on it? Of course, you don't override subdivision restrictions with planning and zoning rules. So that's what it was. So if you live in a subdivision, even if it's 5 acres and it's in a subdivision, they have restrictions for no businesses or no chickens or whatever. You don't, this does not overrule any restrictions that's in a subdivision restrictions. Any other questions? All in favor of approval, please say aye. Any opposed, no.
No.
Okay, let's have a roll call.
Commissioner Coley?
Yes.
Commissioner Sanders? Walker? Creason? Caldwell?
No.
Rogers?
No.
Ashley?
Yes.
Ewan?
No.
Mitchell?
Yes.
Hunter?
No.
Tackett?
No.
Spray?
No.
Eldridge?
Yes.
Nix?
No.
Taylor?
Yes.
Cunningham?
Yes.
Haynes?
Yes.
Young?
No.
Bryant?
In its current form, no.
Douglas?
No.
Frazran?
Yes.
Hambrick? Rolls Walter?
Yes.
I have 12 in favor, 11 no.
it fails. Thank you. Okay, next item, growth plan amendment. Commissioner Eldridge, and I see your helpers back there too.
Yes.
Houston Matthews, who works for Croy Engineering, who they've kind of helped us along on this. Houston is back there in case we get into any real difficult questions, right?
That's right.
Commissioner
Hopefully
Eldridge?
we won't. I'm not asking for any action tonight, but I did think it was important to just come and give an update and give you some information. I think we're getting really close on this. You all will recall that several months ago, this commission determined that we wanted to do a comprehensive plan to help because we're getting growth pressure from Nashville and growth pressure from Huntsville. And so we figured we needed to start looking more, thinking more strategically and thinking about how we're going to manage our growth and development. So we decided to look at this comprehensive plan, and it will deal with things like infrastructure needs, roads and utilities, schools, law enforcement, residential development, even commercial and in some industrial development, things like that. And all these things we know ultimately affect Lincoln County taxpayers. So we're trying to get ahead of this and be smart about it. We established a steering committee and all across different aspects of the community, stakeholders who have an interest in this process. Utilities were represented, roads, schools, law enforcement, industrial development, the chamber, Main Street, all three municipalities, Fayetteville, Ardmore, and Petersburg. We had a representative for the agricultural industry, forestry, real estate, banking, county commission, of course, county budget committee was represented, and many others were on there and attended these steering committee meetings regularly. So we retained Croy Engineering to help us with this process and began meeting to outline the process and what we were looking at doing, define themes. We conducted a SWOT analysis and started forming this plan and how we were going to approach it. That's not an easy task to start from nothing, but we had a lot of great input and started putting that together. We held 9 public meetings across the county, 1 countywide, and then we had 1 in each of the 8 commission districts. So we got a lot of great public input. I was surprised by that, pleasantly surprised. So we had a lot of people that were contributing there, and we had an online survey that Croy produced for us so people could go online and give feedback and that kind of thing. So we were getting a lot of positive feedback. We got enough that the findings were considered statistically significant, and that's a big deal. That doesn't always happen. So we were going really well, and then right in the middle of this, we kind of got stopped because the growth plan, we figured out the growth plan, Lincoln County growth plan, needed to be amended. This was something that was not really on most of our radar. Some folks were familiar with it, but the growth plan, understand, is separate from the comprehensive plan. Growth plan is mandated by statute, state law. Comprehensive plan is encouraged, but it's not a requirement. So we were going down the trail of developing the comprehensive plan, which is a good thing, but we had to switch gears. The original growth plan for Lincoln County was done it was approved in 2000. The law was passed, the state passed the law in 98 that each community had to have these growth plans. So we did ours and submitted it, and it was approved in 2000, but it had not been updated in 25 years. So it definitely needs some updating. The law does not allow counties to rezone contrary to the growth plan. And we've done that in some circumstances, so we need to get that corrected. And it just didn't reflect our current requirements. So that became the priority. We needed to update that. One of the provisions in the law for the growth plan, to develop the growth plan originally back in 98, was the formation of a committee to work on that and help develop that. It just so happens that the required individuals on that committee were also on the steering committee for the comprehensive plan. So we just used that steering committee to jump over and to start developing the comprehensive plan. Those two things are very complementary. There's a lot of things that support each other, that are duplicative. They are in both plans, and the most noticeable is the land use plan. And the land use plan that has been developed under the growth amendment, the growth plan amendment, is the one that will be eventually rolled into the comprehensive plan. You have a copy of that tonight that we passed out. So the main element of this land use plan is it will set aside planned growth areas. And these are areas in the community that can be zoned or used for light commercial and even some light industrial out into the community. The purpose of our land use plan is to protect the property owners. Basically, it allows the areas along major roadways and in these pocket communities, all of our communities around, they all have a store there. They all have, some little markets, different places around. And so what this will allow to happen there, if it's in a planned growth area, it will allow a person who owns property in these planned growth areas, whether it's along a major road or in a community, to come through the normal process, petition the planning commission and then ultimately the county commission to get approval to have a business in those areas. Right now, you can't do that in some of these communities, and this will allow that to happen. Conversely, it will also protect our agricultural areas. And so we won't have high density residential in some of our farmland and rural areas out there. So it's really to protect the property owner. It doesn't mandate anything, but it allows property owners the option to come and request rezoning if they want to do that. So I'm not asking for any action tonight, but what I'd like for you to do, I've already received a lot of comments on this. We know that there are some issues that need to be corrected here. The map is the biggest one, and I'll agree. We're working to try to get, or I'll say we, Croy is working to try to get some better resolution on that, definition on the map where you can drill down into it and see road names and things like that. There's been some software issues, compatibility issues, but they're working to do that. So just a few comments here. As you look at this, what I would like to do is just, get your feedback over the next month or so. You can send it back to the mayor and just let him know if you have comments or anything like that. And we'll spend this month trying to, working with Croy to try to get everything incorporated. Maybe come back at the next county commission meeting and have it on the agenda for, if you're ready to take action, we could do that. We'll have an updated version in time for you to review, and we can look at it at the time. But just keep in mind a couple of things. The growth plan is a legal requirement, and what we're talking about here is amending that, okay? That is separate from the comprehensive plan. It's not a legal requirement, but it's a good thing to have, and that's what we've been pursuing as well. Again, this is not a perfect document, but we expect your feedback. This was developed. This plan was actually developed in this room. We had a couple of public meetings here, and we had great public turnout, and it kind of developed organically. The people were giving us feedback, and Croy was doing it real time, and so it's a pretty good representation of the people who took the time to come out and participate, and we did that at a couple of different meetings. It is also, the growth plan has also been approved. The urban growth boundary piece of it has been approved by all three municipalities in the county, and so that's that's a requirement too. I realize that there's going to be a lot of opinions on this, and we certainly welcome if there are substantive changes that need to be made. We want to hear that, and we want to make sure that gets incorporated. If it's an opinion thing, there's people have different opinions on things, so that might be hard to to satisfy everybody if you have a different opinion than somebody else. But if it's a real substantive change or problem with this that we need to look at, such as the map resolution, things like that. We want to hear that and make sure that we get that incorporated in. Once the growth plan amendment is adopted, then elements of that will be rolled right into the comprehensive plan. The main thing is the land use plan. It'll get rolled into the comprehensive plan, and then it will come before this body right on the heels of that to be approved. So we think that there'll be a lot of synergy there for that. One thing I will mention, if you look at the if you look at the statute, there is a time frame that is built into that. We have not met that. Part of that is because of the municipalities. They took several months to review and to discuss what they wanted to do with their urban growth boundaries and that kind of thing, and that's okay. They have the prerogative to do that. But I talked to Josh Sutter at the convention in Gatlinburg, and he's the executive director of the new CTAS planning department. I don't know what the official name is. It's through the UT Institute for Public Service. And I was asking him about that, and he said, yeah, they've had that. He went through the same process, and he said they had the time frame issue too, because it's a pretty tight time frame. He said, it's a legal requirement, but there's no penalty if you don't meet it. He said, at the end of the day, the main thing is everybody needs to agree. All municipalities, the county commission, the planning commission, everybody needs to approve it and agree to it. And if that happens, he said the state is usually pretty accommodating, and they're not really worried about the time frames as much. They just want to make sure that everybody's looked at it and approved it. So that was some good feedback there. So again, look this over, send the mayor your input, and I'll try to get with him, and we'll try to work these in. I'll work with Croy. Houston, did you have anything that you wanted to say in particular? Or?
Not unless there's specific questions.
Okay. Do we have any questions? Go ahead, Jenny.
I know that you talked about the statutory process and how important it is, and all of the people that were appointed to the committee. This that was given to us, is that part of the statutory requirement that committee had to vote on this growth plan map before it came to us?
There's nothing in there about particularly any element of that has to be voted on. It was sent out to the steering committee, requested comments, and we didn't get any objections there. So is that what you're asking? I'm not sure what.
Well, because of the statutory process and quorums and all that stuff, I just want to make sure that we're in order with all of that.
There's no requirement for like quorums and things like that. It's not there are certain requirements for who has to be on there, but there are other members that can be added, and maybe the attorney can speak to that. I don't know, but we would get the feedback. Not everybody could meet every meeting, so we did the best we could. The whole purpose of that steering committee is to get a product together to get to the county commission, right? Because this is the ultimate approval body. So, this would be the body that approves that. The whole point in that was to get something in front of this body. So,
I just want to make sure we followed whatever procedural elements touched on the
right.
statutory process and everything. So I want to make sure that.
Yeah, I think we're in good shape there. Anything else?
The hours that have been put in this by that committee and Daniel and Croy, it's been a lot. And I mean, there's been a lot of those meetings and a lot of input on it. And for them to have gotten all the public input on it. The only thing that I've in all of this that's sitting there now is people wanting to know where a property line is on this, and so hopefully we can get where you will see that. Just because it's in green doesn't mean it's got to be commercial. It gives the owner of that property the option that it could be used. It still has to jump through the hoops of
That's correct. They have to go through the same process.
If it's not in green, it's basically, it cannot be high density residential nor commercial. And that protects our agricultural interests.
This body would ultimately, just like we do now in zoning changes, this body would make that decision. So, but it is an option. So that's good.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next item, there was the corrections report from our property assessor and our trustee. Everybody, we have to do this every year. Everybody understand, there's always properties that are picked up that wouldn't be on the tax roll. There's always some rollbacks on Greenbelt that wasn't caught. There's some, you'll see, they may have tore down a barn and they've been taxed on it, so it gets taken off of there. So these are the adjustments that are made to correct those things. And there's a summation on the very back page. I think it gains like $29,000 in taxes, but it's something that's required by law. Any questions on that? Everybody understand what that is? But we have to approve it. I would entertain a motion that it be approved. Commissioner Hunter makes a motion. Commissioner Cunningham seconds. Any questions? All in favor of approval, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Our next one, library report, Ms. Megan Murr.
Good evening. During the month of April, 1,659 patrons visited the library and checked out 1,535 physical materials and 2,910 digital materials. We hosted 20 programs with 369 attendees and added 32 new library card holders. As you all probably know, we have a summer reading program every year, and we are excited to begin that this year in June with our theme, Caution Readers Under Construction. So everything construction will be going on at the library this summer. All of that information is coming very soon, so stay tuned. But our kickoff party will be held on June the 13th from 10:30 to 12:30, and will feature the Tennessee Department of Transportation to host a Touch-a-Truck event. They're bringing all of their construction vehicles to the library. We're also going to have some building stations, a construction site dig zone, inflatables, of course, games, crafts, and more, while also signing up for our summer reading program. We always have our regular standing programs, including our STEM club, Tiny Tales Story Time, book clubs, Dungeons and Dragons, gardening classes, and more. And we are excited to highlight a few of our upcoming summer programs tonight, but not give away the full event yet. Some of our partnerships include the Decatur's Cook Museum of Natural Science, Madison, Alabama's Animal Tracks Exotic Animal Show, Chattanooga's Creative Discovery Museum, and the Nashville Science Skies Science Show. These will be joined by a Skywarn Storm Spotter class, Adulting 101 courses, our community Little Free Library building projects, and weekly builder craft events sponsored by Home Depot. I would also like to just take a moment tonight to say thank you to the county for including the library in its recent technology grant purchases. We are so incredibly grateful to be thought of and to have been selected to receive several new computers. If you visited the library recently, you know we do have a few that are down, so we are so excited to get those back up and running for our community. It will greatly expand our technology access and significantly improve our ability to better serve our community. So thank you for that. Any questions?
Any questions for Megan? Thank you for the job you do.
Thank you.
Next item, Main Street report, Miss Amy Bird. Okay. The next one, Finance Director Nix on the budget amendments cleanup.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A few items tonight. We'll start with the budget amendments cleanup. I have a few budget amendments and then a cleanup item. The first one you're seeing is for $28,738. This is a budget amendment to move some money into these lines you see for envelopes, postage for the election commission. As y'all know, the new redistricting of the U.S. Congressional 9th District, and they're having to, by requirement, having to do this to get this information out to the public. But one good note is this money will be repaid back to us after we take it out and spend it. So, but $28,738 is that one. The next one I have is for the archives, a request for $4,966.14 from their restricted account. This is to replace a microfilm reader. They had one, it's went down, and they're pretty much, as Randy says, dead in the water until they can get that replaced and fixed again. And on the last page I have is a couple cleanup items. One is for $5,196.59. It's a budget amendment to receive the from the state of Tennessee for the broadband grant ready grant. And then lastly is $134,575.53. And these are, as you can see, budget cleanup items just on individual lines throughout the 101. And that's all I have for the 101 budget amendments.
Can we take a motion to approve all those?
Yes, you can do it all the 101 together, yes.
Okay. I'd entertain, Commissioner Mitchell makes a motion, Commissioner Ewan seconds. Any questions? All in favor of approval, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved.
All right, next I have a couple of litter grants. So we have, the first one you have there, which you have an attachment for, is a 2-year litter grant for $53,058 per year. This is one that just needs, obviously, the commission's approval. The second one there, the Tennessee Department of Transportation litter grant for $52,000, that is actually just more information to allow this commission to let us apply for it. We haven't applied. The first one we applied for, it's now sitting here in contract form, and the second one is just our permission to actually apply for the grant.
Okay.
So-
Entertain a motion to apply for that grant.
And approve this one.
Commissioner Cunningham makes the motion. Do I have a second? Commissioner Ewan seconds. Any questions on that application process? All in favor of approval, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved.
And lastly, we can take these also together, I believe, but they need to be in the minutes as far as the two different agreements. These are from the school system. We have one, the Subject Technologies Agreement, and the other one is EduPoint Education System. These are both things that we use already as far as in the school system, but they're 1-year contracts apiece. Why this is in front of you tonight is because this is money for actually to 26-27, or agreements for 26-27, and that budget isn't in place yet. But in order to be able to sign these now, the commission has to approve us to do that prior to the budget being passed. The money to fund these agreements are in the budget coming up. It's just we got to do this before. And a lot of this is some of this training that these provide is already trying to happen right now to get ready for the school year. It's just one of those things where it catches you at the wrong time. You're trying to end the year, start of the year. So I think I did that justice. Brad Luna's in the gallery, but okay.
How'd he do? Oh, good. Okay. All in favor of approval of those two, please say, well, let him get a motion, I guess, don't I? I'd entertain a motion. Commissioner Hunter makes it. Commissioner Ewan, you're getting good on the seconds tonight, honey. Any questions on those two? All in favor of approval, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All righty. I think, Commissioner Bryant, I believe we're ready for the 3 budget committee reports.
We do have 3 tonight. I'll do the best I can. The Budget Committee of Lincoln County Legislative Body met pursuant to due notice at the Lincoln County EMA office on April the 16th, 2026 at 4:30 p.m. Chairman called the meeting to order. We had 2 items. Item 1, budget hearings for the 26-27 general fund, sheriff, jail, sheriff's drug fund, highway fund, solid waste, debt service, and approximately 36 budgets were present. Next item, there being no further business, we had a motion to adjourn by Commissioner Caldwell, seconded by Commissioner Ewan, and passed to adjourn. Budget Committee, County Legislative Body of Lincoln County met pursuant to due notice at the EMA office on May the 5th at 5:00 p.m. All members were present, bar 1. Item 1, nonprofit hearings. We had 4 of those. The American Legion Post, 155, American Legion Post Flintville, 111, VFW Post 2167, and American Legion Post 42. Those are attached. Item 2, Mayor Newman stated that the E911 bill was vetoed. Next item was the Director of Schools, Jacob Sorrell. He presented the 26-27 school budgets. Jacob Sorrell presented the school budgets that were approved by the school board, the Board of Education, on May the 4th, 2026. That's an information item. A, we had a motion by Commissioner Spray, seconded by Commissioner Sanders, and passed unanimously to recommend acceptance of the 141 general purpose school fund budget amendments for 26-27.
What's the will of the commission on this item? Commissioner Spray makes a motion for approval. I have a second. Commissioner Coley seconds it. Any questions, discussion? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Commissioner Bryant.
B, we had a motion by Commissioner Ewan, seconded by Commissioner Cunningham, and passed unanimously to recommend the acceptance of the Fund 143 centralized cafeteria school budget for 26-27 school year.
What's the will of the commission on this item? Commissioner Nix makes a motion. Commissioner Douglas seconds. Any questions? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Commissioner Bryant.
C, we had a motion by Commissioner Taylor, seconded by Commissioner Ewan, and passed unanimously to recommend acceptance of the Fund 146, which is the extended school program budget for 26-27.
What's the will of the commission on this item? Commissioner Frazran makes the motion for approval. Do I have a second? Commissioner Creason seconds. Any questions? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Commissioner Bryant.
D, we had a motion by Commissioner Ewan, seconded by Commissioner Sanders, and passed unanimously to recommend the acceptance of the Fund 177, which is the educational capital projects budget for school year 26-27.
What's the will of the commission on this item? Commissioner Coley makes a motion. Do I have a second? Commissioner Hunter seconds. Questions or discussion? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Commissioner Bryant.
All right. Item 4, County Maintenance Supervisor Robbie Counts. A, had a request for funds for the USDA building repairs. Those are attached. We had a motion by Commissioner Cunningham, seconded by Commissioner Ewan. Passed unanimously to recommend approval of the repairs and labor to the USDA building in the amount of $12,500.
What's the will of the commission on this item?
Move to concur.
Commissioner Young makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Creason makes a motion or the second. Any questions? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Commissioner Bryant.
Item 5, Finance Director Nix presented the following items. A, Boones Hill Community Property Update. And we have a deed. We had a motion by Commissioner Bryant, seconded by Commissioner Caldwell, and passed unanimously to accept the property from the Boones Hill Community Center.
And I think that deed was signed tonight. And that's the property that covers the lease we were talking about. Entertain a motion for approval from the commission. Commissioner Mitchell makes a motion. Commissioner Young seconds. Any discussion or question? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Commissioner Bryant.
B, 101 General was taken care of just a minute ago.
Okay.
C, Item 116, Solid Waste Fund Budget Amendments, they're attached. We had a motion by Commissioner Taylor, seconded by Commissioner Hambrick, passed unanimously to recommend approval of the 116 Solid Waste Fund Budget Amendments.
What's the will of the commission on this item? Commissioner Taylor makes a motion for approval. Do I have Commissioner Douglas seconds? Any questions? Discussion? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Commissioner Bryant.
E, 131 Highway Fund Budget Amendments, they're attached. We had a motion by Commissioner Taylor, seconded by Commissioner Bryant, passed unanimously to recommend approval of the 131 Highway Fund Budget Amendments.
What's the will of the commission on this item? Commissioner Taylor makes a motion for approval. Commissioner Douglas seconds. Any questions? Discussion? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Commissioner Bryant.
141 General Purpose School Fund Budget Amendments, they're attached. We had a motion by Commissioner Spray, seconded by Commissioner Cunningham, passed unanimously to recommend approval of the 141 General Purpose School Fund Budget Amendments.
What's the will of the commission on this item? Commissioner Taylor makes a motion for approval. Commissioner Young seconds. Any questions on the 141? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Commissioner Bryant.
F, 143 centralized cafeteria fund budget amendments. They're attached. We had a motion by Commissioner Taylor, seconded by Commissioner Ewan, and passed unanimously to recommend approval of the 143 centralized cafeteria fund budget amendments.
What's the will of the commission on this item? Commissioner Hunter makes a motion and Commissioner Douglas seconds. Any questions? Discussion? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Commissioner Bryant.
G, 146 extended school program budget amendments. They're attached. We had a motion by Commissioner Bryant, seconded by Commissioner Ewan, and passed unanimously to recommend approval of the 141 extended school program budget amendment.
What's the will of the commission on this item? Commissioner Douglas makes a motion for it. Do I have a second? Commissioner Bryant seconds it. Any questions or discussion? All in favor of approval, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Commissioner Bryant.
H, 177 educational capital project fund budget amendments. Those are attached. We had a motion by Commissioner Taylor, seconded by Commissioner Spray, and passed unanimously to recommend approval of the 177 capital education capital project fund budget amendment.
What's the will of the commission on this item? Commissioner Spray makes a motion for approval. Do I have a second? Commissioner Taylor seconds. Any questions on the 177? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Commissioner Bryant.
I, Rural Law Enforcement Violent Crime Reduction Program Grant. We had a motion by Commissioner Cunningham, seconded by Commissioner Ewan, and passed unanimously to recommend approval to apply for the grant.
Okay, what's the will of the commission on this item? Commissioner Douglas makes a motion. Commissioner Taylor seconds. Any questions or discussion? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Commissioner Bryant.
J, fire and EMA surplus property, that's attached. We had a motion by Commissioner Taylor, seconded by Commissioner Spray, passed unanimously to recommend approval of the fire EMA surplus property.
What's the will of the commission on this item? Commissioner Douglas makes a motion for approval. Commissioner Frazran seconds it. Any questions or discussion? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Commissioner Bryant.
K, financials are enclosed. We had a motion by Commissioner Sanders, seconded by Commissioner Taylor, and passed unanimously to recommend approval of the enclosed financial reports.
Would I entertain a motion for acceptance and approval of the financials? Commissioner Mitchell makes a motion. Do I have a second? Commissioner Douglas seconds. Any questions on the financials? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Commissioner Bryant.
Commissioner Jenny Rose Walter was acknowledged for her work on the county's annual report. And we'll move along to the next set of minutes. The Budget Committee of County Legislative Body of Lincoln County, Tennessee met pursuant to due notice in the Lincoln County EMA office on May the 7th, 2026 at 5:00 p.m. Chairman Cunningham called the meeting to order. There were no public comments. Item 1, the committee reviewed the following: 101 general fund budget amendments. They were attached. We had a motion by Commissioner Taylor, seconded by Commissioner Spray, passed unanimously to recommend approval of the 101 general fund budget amendments.
What's the will of the commission on this item?
Move we approve.
Commissioner Bryant makes a motion for approval. Commissioner Taylor seconds. Any questions or comments? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Commissioner Bryant.
B, key revenue trends impacting the budget. Those were attached. So we went over those. C, the 26-27 enhancement sheet. We went over those. And D, the budget worksheet for the 26-27 draft budget. All those are attached. Item 2, fiscal year 2026-2027 draft budget. And it is enclosed. It's an information item only tonight. We had a motion by Commissioner Taylor, seconded by Commissioner Hambrick, and unanimously passed to approve the enclosed 2026-2027 draft budget to be published in the newspaper and considered in the June 2nd, 2026 public hearing. No commission action is required at this time. The committee will recommend approval of the final budget subsequent to a public hearing on June 2nd, 2026, with commission approval scheduled for June the 16th, 2026. That's all we have, Mr. Chairman.
You did good.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All righty. Let's see, Madam Clerk, I guess we're ready for the note of publics.
Have Tammy Hatch by Commissioner Rose Walter, Shannon Holt, Megan Hazelwood, and Madison Butler, also by Commissioner Rose Walter. Jacqueline Lehman Magason by Commissioner Young. Chris Ross and Hope DeJarnett by Commissioner Mitchell. Christy Cranfield by Commissioner Eldridge. Karen Petty and Tina Higgins by Commissioner Young. And Beverly Cunningham by Commissioner Caldwell.
Okay, Commissioner Cunningham, you got an addition.
Did I miss one? Sharon Williams up there?
Sharon Williams, will you add that to the list? Okay. Commissioner Frazran, did you need an addition?
James G. Patterson.
James G. Patterson. Anyone else? Entertain a motion to approve of those. Commissioner Mitchell makes a motion. Commissioner Cunningham seconds. Any questions? All in favor of approval of those, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Now, we got a lot of things. Don't get in a hurry to leave because we got a lot of stuff in new business. I'm going to do mine first. So this is one of the first one relates to an ambulance grant. This we found out when we were in Gatlinburg. 89 of the 95 counties is going to receive a free ambulance through one of the big grants that's coming down for health care in rural areas. They will be sending an application that I need to fill out and send back in. It's not a competitive, so we will be receiving that. I've informed the hospital of that. The county does have to maintain ownership, but we can loan or lease that too. And my suggestion when we get to that point that we lease it to them for 10 years for $1 a year. So that's good news for the county and our health system. So I would entertain a motion that I can fill out that application and send it back in for that. Commissioner Hunter makes a motion, seconded by Commissioner Ewan. Any questions on that? All in favor of approval, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Also, at that same time, there's $1 billion coming to Tennessee, $200 million over 5 years, that we can apply for grants through our health system, the county, or combine it with the health department. I've notified both of those, the hospital and the health department, because the Tennessee Health Department will be deciding the winners on those. So I thought it'd probably be a good idea if we combined effort maybe with our health system and the Department of Health here. So I would need a motion for approval that when that becomes available, because some of them will open up within the next few months, but it'll be based on what the health systems want to apply for. But we have to apply through the county. So I need a motion. You're making that motion, Commissioner Rose Walter, and second, Commissioner Ewan. Does everybody understand that one? It's a competitive grant. The first one, the ambulance, was not competitive. We're going to be getting it. All in favor of approval that we can apply for that one, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. This is an update. You know, our dead animal pickup we've been doing for several years. This time we've run into, I wouldn't say problems, but we may have to restructure that thing. The development district does not want to continue to run that program, but the South Central Human Resources agreed to run the program. The Department of Ag, which has been contributing $150,000 to that, you know, we pay, is it about $86,000 our contribution in that ballpark to it each year. We're probably going to have to start charging the farmers a fee of somewhat. Some, I'm guessing, between $25, $35 on this for us to come out on this. All around underground, who is doing it now, and I think doing a real good job, they've asked for an 18% increase on it. I think we can make it work. This is an information item, but I'll answer any questions that you might. Scott Van with the Farm Bureau's kind of head of this. Bruce Stillman is doing a good job on staying on top of it with our county ag agency. So that's an information item, but if you got questions, I'll try to answer those. Commissioner Ewan.
Are they gonna pick up, are they being charged $35 per pickup?
It would be per ad. Now this is just me throwing out something. This is Bill Newman saying that, but nothing has been agreed on any of this. We're still working on this, but I know if I order a load of gravel, they ask for my credit card. I don't have a charge account, so I think if all around underground would, when I call in, they take a credit card number and charge me my $35, where we don't have to go through us billing somebody where they're getting paid up front. You know, if gravel companies don't trust me, I don't think they should trust me either for picking up my cow without paying for it first. But that's a answer. Okay, that's an information item. Let's see. Okay, did everybody get a handout on the rural health approval on that one to apply to? And what that will be, that area that used to be the archives at the health department is going to be transformed into 3 operatories for Nathan Hopkins. He's our dentist now, but he only has 1 room. For them to operate at a maximum, this is what I'm told, this is not what I know, that for him to concentrate and do the best job, he really needs 3 operatories. 1 getting the patient ready, 1 that he's actually working on the patient. Sometimes in dental work, they have to let something dry or the deaden or whatever, so you need more than just 1 room that they're working in. So that would maximize his ability to work there if they get that. And if you see on there, it looks like it's going to be $800,000 to $900,000. It is a reimbursable grant. It's not a matching grant, meaning we have to go through what we just went, and Jason can tell you what we've just gone through on the remodeling of the health department. But we would be having to bid it out. We would not have to be overseeing the grants on that, but we would be paying the bills, and then once we have a canceled check, they reimburse us, which is kind of what's going on. And if you got any questions on the reimbursement part, Jason can answer that better than I can. But I do need a motion for us to be able to apply for that. Commissioner Douglas makes a motion, Commissioner Haynes seconds. Any questions on that one? All in favor of approval, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Tim Gill, Highway Superintendent, is asked for the next new business.
Good evening. I want to talk to y'all a little bit about our Kidd Lane Bridge. Many of you have heard and seen the progress that's going on. Looks like it's going to finish ahead of schedule. That's what Jones Brothers are telling me, and looking probably sometime end of July before it's actually finished. As y'all know, it's called the Kidd Lane Bridge Now project. That's what the state give it for construction purposes. The problem with it is the road on one end is Beard Mill Road and the other end is Kidd Lane. We need to come up with a name for the road. We'll still have the Kidd Lane will be in place to a certain point. The gravel part will still be in place, but as far as from Wilson Parkway to Malina Road, we've got to come up with a name. And I would like to see Peggy Bevel's Drive. She worked hard on this.
He did.
So, I know there's a process to go through, but time-wise, the highway committee doesn't meet again till July. So that would put it to the commission in August, and so we've got to come up with a name. I'd rather be early with it and have things in place, so when we do get ready to open it, we're not delayed on that purpose. I've talked to Ernie with 911. He said the Kid Lane's fine. We just need to come up with a name from the line of road to the Wilson Parkway. Or not Wilson Park. Is it Wilson Park? Yeah, Wilson Park. So,
Peggy stayed. This is one of these long-term projects that started in 90 or 91, but every time that I went to Nashville, they would ask questions about Ms. Bevels, and two projects that were ongoing even before I was mayor, and Tim and Mayor Bevels both. The one around the square, Tim was one that found the grant for that, and Peggy started working on it, even though it didn't start until after her term. But that one and the bridge were the two, I think, the only two grants that I inherited. And Tim, I appreciate you staying on top of it, but Peggy did. She stayed on top of it, and TDOT. I think they hated to see her as much as Governor Haslam hated to see me when it was about the way we were dividing sales tax on.
I hated to see it too. I went up there several times with her about this.
Yeah, they knew Miss Bevels real well in Nashville. Commissioner Bryant.
She was tenacious about this
She
project,
was.
and she worked on it, goodness gracious, 10 or 12 years seems like. And I've kind of stayed on top of this, and this particular project, I drive by and look at it time to time and go down and see about the bridge like I know anything about it. But I have looked into the rule that we have for roads and things of that nature, and it is pretty lengthy and arduous. And I would move, and it's rule number 21 of the rules governing Lincoln County Legislative Body. And I would move that we suspend that rule in this case, and we get that road opened in a timely fashion. And I had to look that up to figure out how to suspend the rule. But anybody got any questions, I'll be glad to tell you what I found out. But it does look like we were able to suspend that rule in this case.
Okay, that's one of our operating rules. Okay.
Rule number 21 of the rules governing the legislative body of Lincoln County.
Okay, you're making the motion. We suspend that. Are you adding to it also to name that road?
It's to suspend rule number 21 and
name that road.
To name that road Peggy Bevel's
What'd you
Lane.
say? Lane.
Drive.
Okay, Commissioner Taylor seconds that. Any questions on that? It's kind of like two actions within one motion. We're suspending a rule and proposing the name of that road from the bridge out to Wilson Parkway. Everybody understand? All in favor of approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Thank you, Tim. Okay, the next one is asked to be recognized, Commissioner Frazran.
Yeah, I got a couple of things here. One of the most important ones here is I'd like to recognize Tommy Taylor and Henry Gray to come up and talk about hosting the Veterans Day Parade again in Lincoln County, which I understand from them has been absent for like the last 8 years due to some conflicts with the city and the county. So they want to talk, try to get the commission support to start this parade back up this year.
Okay.
Tommy Taylor and Henry Gray.
First of all, we want to thank y'all for what you do for our veterans here in the county. The veteran service here does a great job for us, and I understand y'all have done a lot of work with them. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for the war exhibit. Y'all funded some on that. And you know, we're old Vietnam veterans. We're not going to be around much longer. Maybe we hope forever, but we won't be. What we want to see in incorporate again is a parade, a Veterans Day parade. We hadn't had one in years.
At least 10 years.
We have a lunch every third Thursday of the month with about 30 Vietnam veterans. And somebody proposed a Veterans Day parade, and we thought, well, who can do it? We don't know. Maybe y'all can't do it. We don't know. But we just need some help to try to organize something for the future this year. That's basically what we want.
Okay, I guess maybe why don't y'all get with our office and, you know, this year's Veterans Day is gonna be under another mayor other than myself, but we can get it started. So if y'all either come by, Henry, if y'all, or Tommy, if y'all come by or whatever, call, because y'all, when y'all give me an idea, I have an idea of who I'm gonna appoint to do the work.
Well, Veterans Day is on November
That's-
11th every year.
Yeah.
And what we were thinking was November the 7th, which would be a Saturday, and we can get the community involved.
Okay,
That's all we're asking for, just a little help to see what we can do.
yeah. Yeah, if y'all holler sometime when you can come by. We'll see if we can get something started.
Yeah.
Okay,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you. Did you,
Second part, which is this is, I know there's a lot of talk going on in various communities and everywhere about data centers. And I don't know how the commission here feels about data centers and what they do to the environment and to the county. We had some talk about it up there in Gatlinburg over the weekend. But if it's a way possible, I would like to make a motion that Lincoln County does not allow data centers to come into our county and destroy our rural county and our land developments and rob the resources out of the ground that takes the fund to power these things. You see a lot of news articles about them right now, and I think it's just something to be really bad for our county. And I don't see why we can't go ahead and nip this in the bud now, as old Barney Fife would say, and get rid of these, you know, a chance of a data center coming in here. And that's a motion I'd like to make before the commission here tonight to see if we could make this happen.
okay, do I have a second? Commissioner Rose-Walter, second. Do y'all understand what data centers are? Okay. They use a lot of electricity, they use a lot of water, and they're loud. And, you know, they're going to areas that don't restrict them, so if we don't want them, it is time to probably do something about it. The IDB on theirs, we do have some restrictions on sound because some of them are loud on it, but also if there's an entity that uses.
Would it be good for us to refer this to planning and zoning and see what we need to get in our zoning regulations to keep something like this out? I don't know whether just a motion on the commission would take care of it, or whether, I don't know. But
I might be a question, but I think you're coming from the strongest body that has the decision here, rather than, it is kind of starting at the top of the pyramid going down, so they may have to change some regulations, but I don't think it would be improper for this commission to go ahead and say that we will not allow data centers in Lincoln County. Is there anything you?
Again, I don't want to step on Mr. Honey's toes, but it seems like anything like this has to go to planning first.
Okay.
And let them recommend either up or down.
Okay.
To the commission, but I think it's got to go through planning first.
Okay.
I mean, that's just that's my.
I think we could be attacked if one of them wanted to come in and say, well, you need to go through the procedure.
Yeah.
Get it done.
Okay.
I recognize Ms. Tracy Perkins from planning and zoning.
Elaine Middleton called me about that last week, and I'd already been looking at it anyway, so I've already started working on something.
Okay. All right.
So while we as a commission, we have the power, why not go ahead and do this?
Well, there is a motion on the floor. It's been properly seconded, because, so there's not a restriction that we won't vote on it. It's just that you've heard the suggestion that it may need to go to planning first and come up, so.
Can we amend the motion to state that, we're voting against the allowance of the data centers, and that we will have planning and zoning prepare the proper documents and bring them forward at the next meeting, since the process is already in place? He's already working.
If you
on
want
it.
to, do you want to make that amendment to the motion?
Yes.
Okay. Do I have a second to that amendment that's attached to the original. Commissioner Cunningham seconds that. Okay. Any questions? All in favor of the amendment, please say aye. Aye. All no, against it? Now, the motion as amended is on the floor. All in favor of the motion as amended, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Unanimously approved. Okay. Any other new business? Commissioner Rose-Walter.
I just have a question. So each month we accept all of the committee minutes. And I know in July of 23, the rule was passed about us having to have public comment sections in all the minutes and several meetings. I know Commissioner Cunningham has, reminded we need to have that in there. A lot of the committee minutes that we get, I think I counted at least 7 this month. There's no section for that in those minutes. So to ensure that we're in compliance, do we need to send something out to all of the committees and address what the expectation is of TCA 8-44-112?
Okay. We'll get that out to all of them. Will you send me an email though, so I'll get that to Dora and Laura, and we'll get that out to all the committees. Everybody that's on the committee in here, if you're a chairman, remember that. But we'll send it out to everybody also. Thank you. Anybody?
If you have a meeting, there's nobody there to make public comments.
You still need it on your agenda, and I think probably just put on there none or no comments. That way, if they're checked. Now we have so many people that are calling, wanting public documents. It wears you out what all they're asking for now. So I think it'd be good to have that on there. Commissioner Creason.
While we're on that note, like we've got different boards and committees. Like the committees, the chairmen usually speak, but like the boards, can the directors not come speak to us? Like I know we've had several boards that we hear from chairmen instead of the directors.
Okay, say that again now.
Like, all right, as an example, like the IDB board, Mr. Cunningham tells us about what's happening there. Can we not have the director of the IDB board come address us?
Well, I think that's the only one that doesn't, and that goes back a ways when Elaine was made that. There were some problems at the city, and when that started, that's when she stopped coming. But that's kind of, it's kind of up to that board if they want to, have the chairman or have the executive director. But that's how it started. It started at the city level when there were some problems between her and I think the mayor at that time or one of the aldermen. And that's the reason that's the way that's been done. Commissioner Cunningham.
It was set up that way through our own rules. It was the job of the legislative bodies and members representing them to make the report to each body. So, and like I said, there was some abuse in there, and so I think it's in Ms. Middleton's contract now that she doesn't.
Maybe.
So certainly get somebody from the, all the information comes from hers.
Yeah. And when Doug's not on there, somebody's going, and right now, Joel is the chairman on that. So somebody's going to have to come from the committee or her one because, yeah. Yeah. So they will still be making a report.
While we're on rules and legislation, are y'all going to meet anytime soon? I had emailed about a meeting, so do you know when that date is?
Well, it's kind of, you think it needs to be done real quickly?
I think before we've got the new people in here that there's some things that are long overdue. The rules that we've got currently were basically copied and pasted from CTAS in 2016. And there's been some rules that were passed like what, Mayor Newman touched on as far as being able to speak on anything germane to, the agenda and some other items that needed to be added in there and changed.
And we changed no more than 4 committees and at least 2 for each commissioner. I remember changing that.
23.
And we talked about, I think we ought to make every committee meet at least once a year. There's a lot of these committees that they don't really have anything going, but I really feel like that every year they ought to meet, and probably in October, to elect the chair, at least elect the chairman and do what they gotta do, and then if they need to meet, fine, if they don't, fine. But I do, there are some changes that we've kind of been talking about looking at, so I'll try to get us, we need 2-week notice or something.
Yeah.
We might can meet, I'd kinda like to meet, maybe with almost like a work session to kinda get together what we really wanna change before we actually vote on the change.
I love a good work session. I think that would be a great idea.
Well, you know, we started that and it, when you have the first one of anything and it doesn't go well, a lot of times it stops the second one, so. But a work session is a good idea.
We would have to advertise the work session.
Yes,
So the public can come.
yes.
So we may do that first and try to get that together and then have everybody kind of get their input on what changes we do need to make.
That'd be great.
Commissioner Cunningham,
I had another new business item. if that's
Yeah.
okay with that. Ms. Nina reminded me to discuss it, so that needs to be there 48 hours before the meeting.
and one of the things is that added to Matt's job, this new regulations on ADA on your website, it's a big deal because everything is connected to our website also has to abide by that. So some of them we may have to drop if they don't abide by the rules, but Matt got a pretty big job added to his description when the ADA on the county websites was added on that. So Matt, we appreciate all you do.
I tell you one, we dropped that adult orientated board.
Well, you never know when that one's gonna come up. Any other new business? All in favor of adjournment, please say aye. Any opposed, no. We're adjourned.